Kanja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kanja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Paramahansa Parivaragacaya Sudarasati Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. It's so nice to be back in Srida Mayapur after 3 years under the shelter of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness Ki, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, Chapter 5, Text 3. Sarvam etad bhavān veda bhūta-bhavya-bhavat-prabhuḥ kara-āmalaka-vat viśvam āna-avasitam tava sarvaṁ etad bhavān veda bhūta-bhavya-bhavat-prabhuḥ kara-āmalaka-vat viśvaṁ āna-avasitam tava sarvaṁ etad bhavān veda bhūta-bhavya-bhavat-prabhuḥ karāmalaka-vad viśvaṁ āna-avasitam tava Vaishnavis. Sarvam veda bhūta-bhavya-bhavat-prabhuḥ sarvam, all and everything. He, certainly, etad, this, bhavān, your good self, veda, no, bhūta, all that is created or born, bhavya, all that will be created or born, bhavat, all that is being created, prabhuḥ, you, the master of everything, kara-āmalaka-vat, just like a walnut within your grip, viśvam, the universe, āna-avasitam, within your knowledge scientifically, tava, your. Translation: my dear Father, all that is known to you scientifically, because whatever was created in the past, whatever will be created in the future, or whatever is being created at present, as well as everything within the universe, is within your grip, just like a walnut. Purport: Brahma is the direct creator of the manifested universe and everything within the universe. He therefore knows what happened in the past, what will happen in the future, and what is happening at present. Three principal items, namely the living being, the phenomenal world, and the controller, are all in continuous action, past, present, and future. And the direct manager is supposed to know everything of such actions and reactions as one knows about a walnut within the grip of one's palm. The direct manufacturer of a particular thing is supposed to know how he learned the art of manufacturing, where he got the ingredients, how he set it up, and how the products in the manufacturing process are being turned out. Because Brahma is a firstborn living being, naturally he is supposed to know everything about creative functions. Sarvam etad bhavān veda bhūta-bhavya-bhavat-prabhuḥ kara-āmalaka-vat viśvaṁ āna-avasitam tava. My dear Father, all that is known to you scientifically, because whatever was created in the past, whatever will be created in the future, or whatever is being created at present, as well as everything within the universe, is within your grip, just like a walnut. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vaibhava Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadyadesha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sometimes I feel after reading Srila Prabhupada's purport to just chant Hare Krishna. Everything is clear. But Srila Prabhupada wanted us to share our own realizations. And one thing I was thinking about, that especially in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the word creation and creator so many times. Entire fifth canto is dedicated to the creation of this universe. And yet, just recently, I read one article in the Scientific American magazine, and the title was 15 Answers to Creationist Nonsense. Hare Krishna. Well, what can we do? That Sri Narada Muni clearly explains that his father, the powerful creator of this universe, he possessed creative potency. There are so many other creators within this universe. Factually, they are not creators. The only creator is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything already exists in seed form. So Narada Muni, he knew that although Lord Brahma is the most powerful creator within this universe, he only attained his creative potency or power by undergoing severe austerities. And he was not able to trace back the origin of his own birth on the lotus. So he could not trace out the origin of his own existence independently, on his own, although his body is made of pure intelligence. Still he could not understand. Where did I come from? What is this lotus flower I'm seated on? Where does the lotus flower come from? So many questions. So Narada Muni also knew that there was another, even more powerful being who created his own father, Lord Brahma. So from these verses we can conclude that any scientific discovery cannot take place independently. It's not possible. What is being discovered, in any case, already exists. What is that scientific discovery? It already exists. What is being, and the wonderful brain which facilitates any type of discovery must have been created by someone else. We cannot create our own brain. We don't have the brain for that. No, nobody can create his own brain or create another brain. And the process of creation is not automatic either, not independent. That is all clearly explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But this mechanistic science marches on trying to oppose, clearly oppose, the concept of a higher creative power related to the universe, this material nature. The phenomenon of inspiration plays a very important part in acquiring knowledge. Even in modern science, I have to excuse a little bit my throat. Even in modern science and mathematics, and also the creative arts such as music, inspiration is a very, very important point of discussion. Actually, some years ago, I read a scientific article by Sadhguru Prabhu on inspiration. I would like to quote a few passages from that article because it's very interesting. He explains that the hypotheses in science and the systems of reasoning in mathematics are not generated by any systematic procedure. And then he raises the question, but then what is their source? What's the source of inspiration? Then he explains that inspirations generally occur suddenly and unexpectedly to persons who had previously made some unsuccessful conscious effort to solve a particular problem. These inspirations, they usually occur when one is not consciously thinking about the problem. There's all of a sudden there's some inspiration or revelation even. Inspiration, revelation. There are many examples of a sudden inspiration in Western music also. We have the classic example now. Originally I'm from Germany, so now you will hear the proper German pronunciation of a Wolfgang Mozart. Wolfgang Mozart. He once described how he created his musical works. I quote, "When I feel well and in good humor, or when I'm taking a drive or walk, thoughts crowd into my mind as easily as you could wish. Whence and how they do come, I do not know, and I have nothing to do with it. Inspiration. The occurrence of inspiration has two significant features. First, its source lies beyond the subject's conscious perception, just beyond. And the second, it provides information unobtainable by any conscious effort. It just happens. Of course, the critics, they might argue that the inspiration could be linked to a subconscious self. This is how they argue. The subconscious self, which in turn could explain inspiration in a mechanical way. The mind is nothing more than a machine. And all these mental phenomena, they're just, including even consciousness, they argue, are nothing more than the products of mechanical interactions. The human body is just a biochemical machine. This is how they argue. The problem is that any amount of mechanistic explanation totally disregards each individual person's subjective experience of a conscious self-awareness. Completely disregards it. There will be eternally a difference between a machine with and a machine without consciousness. And anyway, if they argue like that, what part of the machine possesses consciousness? It doesn't make any sense. But in Bhagavad Gita clearly explains the phenomenon of inspiration. It is a result of the interaction between the soul and the supersoul. That makes much more sense. It is an interaction. The soul is there, supersoul is there. There's so many verses in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna clearly explains this point. Savasachahamadidi shanivishtu matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. From me alone, first he states, I'm situated in everyone's heart. From me alone comes knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. What happened? Oh, the cola for the voice. It will be difficult to chew a candy and speak at the same time. You just have to tolerate. Water might help. Usually we have some water. Ice cold. You all must have experience about the mystical aspect of forgetfulness, forgetting something. Do you have experience? The well-known person, everybody knows, you know that person for years and years, then you want to say, his or her name, she's gone. And it also influences the other people around you who also know that person quite well. You have experience of that? And you cannot, by any force, endeavor, it's just not possible to recall, to bring back that memory. It's gone. And you try again, no way. Then you give up. And then all of a sudden, boop, memory comes back. It's mystical. So Krishna explains, I'm situated in everyone's heart as the supersoul. Also, as soon as one desires to worship a particular demigod, then Lord Krishna is situated in the heart. that he will strengthen that conviction, that faith, that shraddha. It is all done by the Supersoul. Nothing happens by chance. Endowed with such faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone, Krishna explains. It is also interesting, in the last quote, quoted Bhagavad Gita verse, the Sanskrit word Shraddhaya is being used. Shraddha generally is being translated as faith. But Srila Prabhupada, in this particular verse, he translates it as inspiration. Quite interesting. Faith, inspiration, Shraddha. Because there's some connection. Unless you're inspired, you cannot have faith in something. You have to be inspired about it. According to Vedic literature, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma is the creator. Whether they like this word or not, he is the creator of this universe. Yet he had to meditate to receive the inspiration for that creation. You also want to drink? Oh, okay. I don't know what is happening. We should always be willing to share. Similarly, Vyasadeva also, he was an empowered divinity, and still he was dissatisfied with his compilation of the Vedic literatures. He was not satisfied. Empowered divinity, still there was something lacking. And Lord Krishna himself had to inspire him in his heart. Now, what is lacking? What is missing? Then he got that inspiration, again from Krishna. He received that inspiration. Oh yes, I did not describe the transcendental activities, the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that was lacking. So he was inspired. Tesham satata yoktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddha yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me, Lord Krishna, with love, also very important. We find this innumerable times in the Bhagavad Gita, with love, not just service with love. The Lord Krishna, he is all attractive. Everything is attracted to Krishna. But he is attracted to the love, prema of his devotees. This is what Krishna attracts. And this is why Lord Krishna several times in the Gita, he is adding that important element of love. Do this, but with love. Serve me with love. Think of me with love. Prema. And this is not easy to obtain, because we love ourselves so much. It will take time. But that time will come. And Srila Prabhupada promised. I always remember my initiation letter. Srila Prabhupada explained, if you follow these rules and regulations for the rest of your life, you will see Krishna face to face. He promised that. That's for everyone. It's for everyone. We just have to make sure we don't run away, that's all. Just stick to it. Stick to it. Of course, with quality must be there also. And that quality, some of us now experience. Old age is definitely helping to think more of Krishna. Because we begin to realize that gradually we are losing everything that Krishna takes away. Then what is left at the end? Only Krishna. Think of Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna. Remember Krishna. Teshamivanu pratam aham agyana jam tamaha nashayam yatma bhavastu jnana dipena bhasvata. Again, Krishna explains, he's situated in everyone's heart with a shining lamp of knowledge. He destroys ignorance. He just destroys ignorance. There's a nice explanation by Srila Prabhupada in one purport. The seed of all the planets in the universe were impregnated in the lotus on which Brahma was situated. All the planets were already generated by the Lord, and all the living entities were also born in Brahma. Interesting. The material world and the living entities were all already generated in seedling forms by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I find this interesting, seedling forms. This is again fully confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarva yunishu kaunteya murataya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyo niya aham vichar pratapita. Krishna explains in that verse that he is the seed-giving father, a seedling form, seed-giving father of all living entities. But as explained before, not only living entities, he's the seed-giving father of all the planets. Not only of all the planets, but the innumerable universes as well, he is the seed-giving father. Of all the innumerable universes, and ultimately of the entire material creation, Lord Krishna is the seed-giving father. So the real creation is a sarga. And Lord Brahma's creation, it is called visarga. It is secondary, because technically it is not really a creation. It is just a manifestation. It was already there in seed form. It is just being manifested. Lord Brahma, he has that type of creative power. The Srimad Bhagavatam explains that there are 9 processes of creation, 9 types of creation. And the first 9 are being accomplished by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I mean the first 6, sorry. There are 9, the first 6, Lord Krishna, and only 3 types of creation are being accomplished by Lord Brahma. And again, these are just manifestations. It was already in seed form, created by the Supreme Lord. Then it is further described, while thus engaged in thinking about the process of creation, Brahma heard twice from nearby in the water, because he went down the lotus stem into the water, and he heard that vibration, that sound, a combination of 2 letters. They're described in the sparsha letters in Sanskrit alphabet. Which one was it first? The 16th and then the 21st, right? 16th letter. If we count ka, ka, ga, ga, nga, cha, ja, ja, cha, nya, ta, ta, da, ta, na. And then comes ta, right? Yeah, after ta, then ta. So that's the 16th, first letter, ta. And then 5 more, then we come to the 21st one. So 5 more, then there's ta, da, dha, na, and pa. Pa, that's the 21st. Pa varga, pa. So we combine these 2, tapa. This is what Lord Brahma heard. Tapa, very important principle in spiritual life. In one class, Srila Prabhupada explained that human life is meant for tapa. And what is the opposite of tapa? Sanscritification. That is meant for the animal species. But human life is meant for tapa. Practice austerity, then all types of realizations will come. This again he explained when Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestations in the universe. He was perplexed, and then he heard that inspiration, tapa, you have to practice austerity, which Lord Brahma did. And then he became inspired and empowered by the process of creation. There are also many examples of great acharyas or personal pujaris of deities. They directly received inspiration in order to solve a particular problem, either philosophically or practically, or some questions in their heart. The deities or the Supreme Lord directly gave the answer. We have one wonderful example of a Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now, while he compiled the Mantrata Dipika, it is explained, the explanation on the Kama Gayatri, he was perplexed because he thought that the Kama Gayatri consists of 25, right? He thought 25 syllables, Kama Gayatri. If you count the 25, should be 25 syllables. But then he read the explanation by Kaviraj, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He read the explanation that Kama Gayatri consists of 24 and a half syllables. And he could not understand. He did exhaustive research in the Puranas, Agamas, in the scriptures of grammar, dramatic and poetic ornaments, so much research work. He could not figure out, how is this possible? It should be 25, clearly 25 syllables. But it is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita 24 and a half. So he was perplexed. And then he was thinking that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is a self-realized soul, eternal liberated soul. He cannot make any mistakes. It is simply not possible. Brahma, Pramada, Vipalipsa, Karana, Patava, Asha, Vikya, Vakye, Nahi Dosha, E Sabha. This Arsha means the authoritative sages, Arsha. Nahi Dosha, they cannot make any mistakes. Nahi Dosha, not possible. The Brahma means the tendency to make mistakes. Pramada means the tendency to be an illusion. Vipalipsa, tendency to cheat. And Karanapatava, to have an imperfect perception, sense perception, imperfect. This cannot occur in the statements or sayings of authoritative sages. It is simply not possible. He grew so desperate that he was actually thinking, because if he does not properly understand the syllables, these 24 and a half syllables of the Kama Gayatri, then Lord Krishna will not manifest through that mantra. Srimati Radharani will not manifest through that mantra. Then he thought, what's the use of my life? He went straight to Vrindavan. I think he was situated in Vrindavan. He went straight to Radhakunda and thought to give up his life. He started fasting. And then he had that wonderful dream. Srimati Radharani appeared in that dream, and she explained to Vishwanath Chavarita, "Oh Vishwanath, please don't lament anymore. What Krishnadas Kaviraj wrote is true. It is factual. He is also my confidential associate. And he knows everything about me, my most secret, innermost moods. This Kama Gayatri is the mantra for worshipping me," she explained. "Indeed, I can be known by the syllables of this mantra. Without my mercy, no one can learn anything about the mystery of this mantra. The solution to the half syllable is found in the book Vanagama Basvadi. Now you go and then you read in that book the explanation and then distribute it for the benefit of all." So we can easily imagine when Vishwanath woke up how much ecstatic he was. He was shouting, "Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe," in ecstasy. So we can, in our own lives, we might also sometimes encounter problems, questions we just cannot resolve, don't understand. And we might derive some inspiration to be willing to accept tapa, more austerity in our practice of devotional service. In devotional service, austerity, not this artificial austerity. In devotional service, we can chant more rounds, do more service, chanting with more quality. And then we might also receive the answer or inspiration by the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, they are interacting with the devotees, provided there's a service rendered with love. Krishna reciprocates. In one, just to end the class here, in one Chaitanya Charitamrita lecture I just recently heard, Srila Prabhupada with a loud voice, he mentioned that in this very lifetime we must see Krishna. In this very lifetime we must talk to Krishna. And then he added, but not like the Sahajiyas. We must be, Prabhupada explained, we must be willing to render any type of service simply to please Krishna. We must be willing to render any type of service. Whatever pleases Krishna, let me render that service. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whose appearance we celebrate tomorrow, he explained once that when we chant with a service-inclined tongue the holy name, only that holy name vibrates in the spiritual sky and brings us home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. I would like to stop here because still our GBC meetings, they continue, and we have to go soon to that meeting. Thank you very much